Hey everybody, welcome back to the next part of my dialing in series. Today I'm taking another look at a new feature we have in firmware 3.0, and that is the Horizon Drive, which is a model of the Horizon Devices Precision Drive. Now, you might be wondering, why are you holding a Strat style guitar when you're going to showcase this pedal, which from my understanding is designed more for like a metal or modern metal approach to tighten up kind of an already distorted sound and to tone shape that. And we're gonna look at it as that kind of a device too, but I was also messing around with this with a clean Fender style amp, and I was liking it also as just a run-of-the-mill overdrive pedal with the right settings. So let's do this. Let's dive over to HXEdit and take a look and see what I have. So the other day, I released a dialing in video about the new US Princess model we have. Now, I've added the Horizon Drive to that. Let's just turn that off. Here was the preset that I came up with, and I put this up on Custom Tone the other day. All right, and that is one snapshot with far less effects of my Line 6 Marketplace US Princess Ultimate preset, which has been doing very well, getting a lot of great feedback on that. So I thought, what would it be like if I took this Horizon Drive and added it to a nice clean preset like this? So I'm gonna go down to the bridge pickup, and I'm just gonna turn it on its stock settings here and see what we have. So here again is the tone, bridge pickup. Here it is with the Horizon Drive. There's some really nice tones just at those stock settings. Now let's take a look at the controls on here. What we have is a drive, which is going to control the overall amount of distortion that the Horizon Drive puts out. We have an attack control. Now what the attack control does is as we turn it up, it kind of tightens the sound up, okay? Gives a more modern sound to it. As we pull it down, it's a little bit more mid-forward, a little less cutting. On this type of a use into a clean amp, I find that this attack down low is really nice. Now you'll notice that sounds kind of cutting off. We'll see why in a second. The bright control is going to do just that. As we turn it up, it's going to make it more cutting and bright sounding. Now if you notice, this is kind of cutting off. I can't play very dynamically here. So what happens here is we have a gate built into this. We have a gate control, which when turned all the way to the left is going to have the gate on much less dramatically. And when it's full on, it's really going to clamp down hard on our sound. The gate range is authentic and extended. So the folks at Line 6 have put an extended function on this, and I believe that sets the threshold down around minus 90 dB. So it really cuts the sound off if I put it on extended. For this use, I would want that on authentic, and I'd probably want to turn the gate down to basically the 0 setting. And that's going to allow me to keep my dynamics, okay? I think the gate's going to be more useful when we're talking more metal sounds where we want to kind of just chop the sound off, okay? So let's take a look at some of the controls. Let's start with kind of, go to the middle on the gain to about 5, or the drive to about 5. Again, the tone with it off, bit of a volume jump. I mean, you could bring your level control down. To kind of get it more closer to unity gain, or you can just have it so it boosts it a bit. Okay, let's go with the tack on 1. You can hear kind of the more mid-forward sound. Let's just go to the extreme up on 6. We'll go up a notch at a time. So we see on 1, we get a lot more mid-forward warm sound. With the attack on 6, we get the pick kind of cutting through a little bit more. One thing you'll notice is I turned off my compression that I normally have on this patch at the end, so that you're not hearing any compression from an outside source. What you're hearing is just the natural compression of the Horizon drive. Okay, so attack we'll leave there on, let's say, 2 for now. Let's turn our bright down to 0. Really muddies it up. You almost get kind of an Eric Johnson-y kind of thing going, but almost a little bit too muddy. Let's bring that bright up maybe to around 3. Makes it nice and usable. What happens when we keep going? Nice, and crank it up to 10, see what happens. Gets pretty spitty as would be expected, you know, but something in and around here. It really depends on the amp and the tones you're going for too. It's just nice to have all this ability to shape the sound that we do. What happens when we crank the drive to 10? Some very nice tones in there. Again, I like this sort of in the middle range there. Again, with the Horizon drive off, that's the tone we're getting. Kind of a nice dark tone. As I mentioned, I would keep that gate off for this style of a tone. I can kind of hear it clamping down when I play softly, and not something I would really want. Okay, so that's kind of cool to see how it works with that, but let's now try it with a different guitar, humbucker pickups, with a much heavier tone. So before I was using the preset with my Vigier Expert Strat style guitar, all single coil pickups, which suited that style nicely. But now I've got my Vigier Excalibur Special, which is a humbucker based guitar for the most part, and it's gonna give us some heavier tones. So what I have here is my Das Benzin lead preset that I released the dialing in video for as well. And this again is one snapshot without all the effects of my Line 6 Marketplace Das Benzin Ultimate preset, which you can get on there if you like the tones. But let's see how the Horizon drive does when using it with a heavy tone and maybe it's some kind of different settings and for a different use to kind of just shape the tone more. So here is the sound without the Horizon drive. Okay, let's take the stock settings and turn the Horizon drive on and see what it does. Off. Okay, it's not changing it dramatically, but here's what we can do with this. And one suggestion is to run the drive on 0. What you notice is it brightens the sound up a bit and adds a little more attack to it. Okay, let's bring the attack down to 1. Now we'll inch that up. I'll actually go to 6 on that. Keep it off. You'll notice it tightens the sound up. You get a little more pick attack and a little more brightness. Whether that's what you want or not is, it really depends on what you're going for. I like it both ways here. All right, what happens if we bring that attack maybe halfway and bring the brightness all the way up? Keep it off. Obviously, I'm not really crazy about it that bright, but you could find some medium ground here where you could just add a little bit of tone shaping to an existing sound. Go to the neck pickup. Keep it off again. So lots of possibilities here. What happens if we use it now to push the gain a little more on this? Let's jump it up to say 4.3. Keep it off. Again, let's turn that off. I kind of like the warmth of it with it off, but again, if we wanted to use it as a bit of a boost, we could just bring the attack even down more, a little less brightness. Really push it into crazy amounts of saturation, but there's also going to be all sorts of great settings in here that we could find. So using it in that way to kind of shape the tone is a really great tool. So that horizon drive is a really nice tool to have. I actually like it more for the purpose of what I was using in the beginning with a clean amp to add some really beautiful, smooth overdrive sounds. Very, very impressive stuff, and maybe not the use a lot of folks were thinking of it for, but it can also be used with great results in tightening up or shaping the tone of an already overdriven, distorted amp. You know, we could have something halfway in between that's already sort of overdriven and then, you know, crank it up with more gain from the horizon drive. So anyways, I hope you guys found that useful. I hope you enjoyed that. Both of the presets you heard today without the horizon drive are available on Custom Tone. I'll try to remember to put the links down below in the description so that you can grab it and add your own horizon drive to it and play around with that to get the tones that you would want. So I hope that was useful, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like the video and share it with anybody who you think might get some use out of it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I will be back real soon with some more content. Thank you guys again for your time and for tuning in. Ciao for now.